everybody. This is Angel Ribo, the CEO Confident, and we are here today with Neville Joffe. Hi, Neville. How are you?
Hello, Angel. Wonderful. Thank you.
So Neville Joffe, as you probably already know, he's an author, he's an executive educator, and he's been teaching financial literacy and business mastery for more than 25 years to more than 20,000 people worldwide for these very, very large corporations. And we are here today because I would like to actually share a few ideas regarding, financial literacy and diversity and inclusion. The first question would be for you, Neville. You've been teaching, basically, you've been helping companies, business operators and executives how to be aware of the financial implications of their business decisions. Why is that important, Neville?
Angel, shareholders and investors in corporations have a certain vision about what they want to see in return for their investment. And it may surprise a lot of people to know that investors in large corporations in particular don't really care that much about what the company does. I mean, you think about people who buy shares in a wine company or a beer company may not even drink wine or beer. So it's not really about the product, it's about the return they get on the investment. And to that end, everyone in the organization needs to understand the financial implications of what they do and how they link or how they align, if you will, to what shareholders expect from their investment. Because people tend to work in silos. They need to see the bigger picture and understand how to join all the dots between what they do and what the shareholders see in their financial statements.
So I remember that, one of the many things that, by the way, people, they might not remember or know is that you actually were leading an organization with 400 unionized employees. And those employees were from so many different countries with so many different orientations. What did that role, that diversity on your company, what role did it play in your company?
Wow, Angel, in those days, we didn't even know the word. I'm going back more than 25 years, in fact, close on 30 years when I started this. We'd never heard of the word diversity. We'd never heard of the word inclusion. It's just something that some people did or some people didn't do. There was no legal requirements, anything in those days. There was not even an awareness of it. And this company that I bought into was going through some financial challenges. And in those days, we were dealing with double-digit inflation. We were dealing with NAFTA, huge price pressure and demand from the market. Pricing from the market was demanding that prices come down while costs were going up. It was really, really tough to stay open in those days. So what I did was I opened up. I went to a financially transparent environment. Now, keep in mind that we had every nationality imaginable. We had a rainbow, if you will, of employees in this organization, every skill set imaginable. So what I did was I went to a financially transparent organization, and I did a deal with our union. We were a union shop, whereby I said to the union, look, I have a belief that nobody washes a rented car. There's no sense of ownership. And it's important that people feel a sense of ownership. So I'm a strong advocate of education and engagement. I educated these people to understand the financial implications of what they did, use very simple methodologies like tearing up $20 bills when people messed up, and people used to freak out. I said, why are you freaking out? You do this every day. I got their attention. But I started using some very unorthodox methods of teaching business literacy, gave them, people work better when there's something in it for them, right? And I started involving them in decision making because all their skin in the game. But the whole notion of inclusion, in my view, shouldn't be inclusion for the sake of inclusion. This should be the sake of inclusion with a bigger purpose. My interpretation of inclusion is getting people to help you make financially smart decisions. To me, that is what inclusion is about. It's about job security. They need to be included because it provides job security for them. It helps them make more money to improve their own economic lives. So everybody, in my view, when you talk about diversity and inclusion, it means inclusion with decision making. It means inclusion in helping people grow from within. And when I talk about diversity, I'm talking about diversity using people's skill set. We had what I call an inventory of skills. We had a database. In those days, we used to use Lotus 123. And I had developed a database of what people's skills were. We had people coming out of Europe who were nurses working as operators. We had people who were engineers working as store operators. And we tapped into these resources. It was magnificent. We found acres of diamonds of knowledge that we used to grow this company. And within a few years after starting this initiative, this company has zero debt, became a world-class producer. There is something else I'd like to add, if I may.
Absolutely.
While it's in mind. The companies I've worked with over the last 25 years, a lot of multinational companies, I can tell you that those companies that I've worked with, that practice diversity and inclusion to the level that I'm talking about, not just because it's a legal thing or it's something which they have to do, it's something that they want to do, are significantly more profitable with lower staff turnover than those companies that don't practice this. It's blatantly obvious with those companies that I've worked with.
I was going through actually the list. Neville was kind enough to share with me the list of his former clients. And besides lots of testimonials and recommendation letters, I saw the names. Would you mind sharing the names of a few companies that you have been working with throughout time?
Well, these are the companies who practice this type of thing. This is a matter of culture. People like Toyota, Hallmark Cards, Campbell's Soup. I mean, these are the likes of the kinds of companies, just wonderful companies. McDonald's, these are people who practice this as a matter of culture and policy, not necessarily because of legality. And their names, the success of these companies speak for themselves. What
did you do? Because I would like to use, people probably don't know yet because it's very close to launch, but Neville has been working on a book for a few months now. And my question is, when you had this inventory of skills, I would like to use one of your Nevillisms. You had that inventory of skills. So what? What did you do with it?
Well, over the years, a lot of people who've been through my program said, Neville, you've got to write a book about all these Nevillisms. And I have some statements that I use, which I love to use during my education program. For example, don't examine numbers in isolation. Revenues are vanity, profits are sanity, cash flow is reality. And to your point, like, so what? Cause and effect. I created a culture of cause and effect in my company. If you do X, what will happen? If you do Y, what will happen? What are all the touch points that are affected as a result of your decisions? Don't examine numbers in isolation is another one. People will tend to keep looking at revenue going up and all high-fiving. Well, don't get so excited. What about profitability? What about sustainability? Don't do the wrong things more efficiently. We have to keep re-examining what we do. What worked for you several years ago may not work for you today. So this whole notion of inclusion and diversity, the people who are included in decision-making are encouraged to keep resetting the button, if you will, of processes. And it's magnificent when people who are not involved in a certain skill set look from the outside, they have the license to ask stupid questions, if you will, because they tend to pressure test a lot of decisions that are going on in companies, always linked to the financial implications of those decisions.
Thank you so much, Neville, for bringing this to our attention, actually for bringing to the audience this new frame of reference about diversity and inclusion. People that want to know more about you and about what you do, Neville, what's the best way to reach out to you?
Just email me. It's Neville, Neville, at BizWisdom. That's BizWisdom.com. I love a good debate, in case you didn't notice, and I'll be delighted to speak to you and chat to you about some of these concepts.
Thank you very much, Neville. It's been a pleasure to have you here. And for our audience, thank you very much. Again, this is Angel Ribo, the CEO of Confident. Thank you for being here today, and hope to see you soon in another of our interviews. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.